started, all of this stuff. And I really didn't, all the 3,000 victims' families, I don't hate all of them. I hate probably about 10 of them. But when I see, 9/11 victim family, on television or whatever, I'm just like, oh, shut up. I'm so sick of them because they're always complaining. And we did our best for them. And again, it's only about 10. But the second thought that I had when I saw these people...
We did our best for the nine... We did our best in the gigantic cover-up that ensued in that kangaroo court thing that they pulled off afterward. We did our best for them. And again, please, if you don't know about this, email me. I'll send you the document on 9/11. Go up there, watch Loose Change. I mean, this was an absolute travesty on every single level of justice. It was unbelievable. And he's got the audacity to get up there and actually utter these words. Let's let him talk some more.
And they had to shut down the Astrodome and lock it down. I thought, I didn't think I could hate victims faster than the 9/11 victims. These guys, when you see, and it's really sad, we're not hearing anything about Mississippi. We're not hearing anything about Alabama. We're hearing about the victims in New Orleans. This is a 90,000 square mile disaster site. New Orleans is 181 square miles. 108.2% of the disaster area is New Orleans. And that's all we're hearing about are the people in New Orleans. Those are the only ones that we're seeing on television are the scumbags. Again, and it's not all of the people in New Orleans. Most of the people in New Orleans got out. It's just a small percentage of those who were...
Now, I believe he's in reference to Katrina when it hit. And New Orleans was the epicenter of where it came ashore, essentially. So, obviously, they're going to have the worst damage. He's referring to these people that were trapped in the cities as scumbags? I mean, I don't even know what to say. But this is out of his own mouth. I mean, let's listen to more.
Left in New Orleans, or who decided to stay in New Orleans, and they're getting all of the attention. It's exactly like the 9/11 victims' families. There's about 10 of them that are spoiling it for everybody.
That's total garbage. There's way more than 10 people that have wanted an official inquiry into 9/11, one that wasn't trumped up. I mean, again, if you look at the overwhelming amount of evidence regarding 9/11, it's so overwhelming, I wouldn't even know where to begin. I could literally do a 20-part study on 9/11, debunking the official story. But, a guy like Glen Beck, because he is put there, he is part of the establishment, he's nothing more than a puppet on a string. I don't believe the guy any farther than I can throw him. Yes, you're going to hear some truth when you listen to Glen Beck on the radio, but you're also going to be getting a lot of leaven. And he's the last guy I'm going to put as my spiritual head. And if you're part of this movement following Glen Beck and thinking that... I'm going to read you something here before I play the rest of the clip. This is the guy that put up this video. Okay, now I don't think he's a Christian. But listen to the what he wrote in here regarding him putting this up, this video clip. Even though it's all true, even though it's all right out of Glen Beck's mouth. The Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Okay? Well, we just heard how Glen Beck feels. I mean, there's not any doubt about that. Here's what he had to put up. He said, due to the amount of hate mail I received in response to this posting, comments have been shut down. If you want to comment and say that this site is a far left hate mongering, or that we will end up in hell for exposing Glen Beck for the charlatan he is, do it on your own dime, not mine. Excuse me for getting older and not wanting to put up with people telling me what a degenerate I am on my own site. But understand that my site is like mine. It's my home. I do not have to put up with rude people. And I would imagine a lot of these would probably call themselves born-again Christians. Rude people yelling at me saying that I will burn in hell. I mean, why would they say you're going to burn in hell? I mean, maybe some of them were Mormons. But I don't even think Mormons believe in a literal hell. I don't know. Anyway, this isn't happening. It's my home. I make the rules. So I shut down the comments like I shut my door. But this guy had to shut down his comments because he was saying that people were, he was going to be burning in hell for exposing Glen Beck. I mean, that's the sad state of affairs we live in. Let's listen to the last part. Oh, okay, that's the end of it. I'm sorry. And he goes on here, we express deep sorrow for the 9/11 victims and their families. And I do too. And mourn for those suffering during Katrina as well. That was like some kind of psychopathic rant. I heard another one from him the other day where he just went off the deep end. I mean, his voice got real super high. He was screaming. It sounded like he was screaming so hard he was going to lose his voice. He went nuts. I mean, just went crazy. Hog wild nuts on the radio. And I guess there's a lot of clips of him like that. The man's not stable. He's really not. And yet, now he's the kind of like the anointed one, as far as I can see, the way that they're touting the guy. Okay, this is the last article here regarding this. Well,
how would he like it if his
Taylor and Lurid just brought up some good points about these people that were there in Katrina. A lot of them were like elderly. They couldn't get out. A lot of them were like mothers with multiple children. He's calling them scumbags. A lot of them had no choice but to stay. I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand what in the world he was thinking saying that. But again, he's able to evidently get away with it and go on to establish his little empire.